Right on it. Okay. Well, apparently, we'll give it a second here, guys. Let me know when you can hear me okay. Yeah, amazing, isn't it? Can you hear me okay? Okay, good. You guys can hear me. Okay, perfect. All right. So apparently, YouTube doesn't want us thinking for ourselves either. Real. Take three already. We got a 4 minute take and a 5 minute take, I think is what we're at so far. Unbelievable. So, anyway, once again, if there is an interruption in the stream, I will get right back on as soon as I possibly can. So just be patient. You know, Ed, you're getting faster with the rechats. It's practice, lots of practice. Unbelievable. They're just, it's ridiculous. But what are you going to do? Um, what other source? I love that. Switch to another source. What do you talk? What other? There's no other platform realistically where you're going to get. It's okay. Look at it. It is what it is. We got to deal with it. Unfortunately, again, if we have an interruption in this stream, I will get back on as soon as I possibly can. So just be patient and hang in there, and I will get right back on. Again, you may have to go all the way out and come back in to be able to do it. But we're gonna keep going. Hopefully, we don't have a record number of takes tonight. That would really kind of suck. Hopefully, we can get this in. But apparently, NASA reported this morning large solar flares coming off the sun today. JJ just said that. That's fun. Good times. So, and I want people to remember, okay, again, while we're getting started here again, this is not me. This is not my connection. It has nothing to do with my connection. I've had people say, oh, well, your internet's bad. What do you got, dial-up? No, I don't have dial-up. I have a hardwire line coming in from the street. I'm hooked in that way, and I have high-speed internet. I had a former worker that worked for Time Warner. He had contacted me when we've been having all these issues, and he was, he said to me, he goes, well, let's do a diagnostic. And we did a diagnostic because I said, well, do I need to get a faster speed? Because there's like one level higher than where I'm at. And he said, absolutely not. He goes, your speed is absolutely fine. What he said was, most likely, my IP address is being bombarded, and that's why it's overloading and kicking me offline. So that's what he told me. And so that, there's not a whole lot I can do about that. I have to deal with it, unfortunately. Okay, so, so we deal with it, and we will just continue to get back on here and do the stream, and that's it. But I did want to get back to answering the question about Heather. Heather's doing fine. Right now, classes are good. Again, coming into this year, she did not know how long she would be able to be at school, without having to leave because of COVID, obviously. There's been a lot of schools already, colleges, that have shut down, sent the kids home. A lot of schools have already done that as well. I know that, like my neighbor, her son just started kindergarten this year. He's literally in class 2 days a week, and then the rest of it is remote learning from home. So, they're doing what they have to do. YouTube likes cat videos. Delilah says, so show us a cat. All I got on the bed right now is Bella, and she's sleeping, and I'm not going to bother her. I actually had a whole bunch on here earlier. If I'm laying on the bed, literally at any one point in time, I'll have 4, maybe 5 cats in bed with me. They just like to hang out, and then the dogs will be on the floor around the bed. And no, I do not let my dogs on the bed. I know some people let their dogs on the bed. Never, ever have I let a dog on the bed. I'm not having that. They're way too big, take up way too much room. It's bad enough with the cats. So, why doesn't Heather just do virtual classes from home? Because Heather is almost 19, and being home with dad is not as fun as being able to be down in college and hanging out with her friends and being with her boyfriend and doing all those type of things. And so that is why Heather wants to be at school. So have you thought about using a VPN? It might help. Yeah, I'm going to have to look into something like that. We're going to have to figure out Check for excessively warm laptop. That's not it either, guys. I have a board here that my laptop is sitting on. Okay. When I do my live streams, the fan is not even running on my laptop right now. When the laptop gets hot, you'll hear that fan running. It's not happening. Okay. It's on a board, and the board is like that thick. So that's where I put everything. I got my speaker, my camera, the laptop. So it's all on a stable surface. It's not sitting on the bed itself. It's on this board that is on the bed. Okay, so that's not it either. But yeah, and Heather wants her freedom. Exactly. Prepper Chris 1. You know, she is an independent young lady, and she wants to go do what she wants to do, and I get it. And I want her to experience that, with school. So let's get into the topic finally, right? This is the third take. We're actually farther into this take than the other one, so that's a good thing. Thinking for yourself. Let's talk about that really quickly. Ed, you don't have 8 cats. You have a comforter for, comforter for the bed. Exactly. So here's the thing. We're going to use Seattle as an example. So we all know what was going on with Seattle, right? So here's one of the things that government agencies, and I have worked for government agencies before, working for the state, working for the county as a nurse, as an aide back in the day. And what they love to do, these little things called hiring freezes, okay? So when they're doing a hiring freeze, they're not replacing the people that are leaving the department. Or, whatever you're working, if you're working in a facility, and as people are going, they're not hiring anybody new because they have a hiring freeze on. They probably have a wage freeze at the same time because they like to play that game as well. All right. So let's talk about Seattle, all the nonsense that's gone out there with Chaz and everything else, right? Remember all that happening? The police department right now in Seattle, the number of police on hand is the lowest that it has been since 1990. And I want you to fact check this, guys. I want you to go look at that, okay? It's the lowest number of police officers on the force since 1990. I think within the last 3 or 4 months, I believe it is, or I'm trying to think, when was it from? It was from earlier this year. They're down 57 officers very, very recently, okay? They have a hiring freeze on, so they're not hiring new officers. So what does that end up happening? What happens with that? Longer times for waiting once you call 911. The murder rate is up, okay, in Seattle. The crime is up in Seattle. With less officers out there being able to do what they need to do, the criminals are getting the advantage, okay? And then on top of that, these cops got to walk around now with kid gloves on because they're going to be they have to be very careful, because what happens is they're under a microscope. And everybody's watching and waiting for the next cop to make the mistake and do something stupid so that they can go, see, oh my God, these horrible, horrible police officers, okay? They're just waiting. They can't wait for it. And I'm going to tell you what, a lot of police officers have had it up to here and they're leaving. And I don't blame them. I don't blame them at all. Or if they're close to retirement age, or, if they got 22, 23 years in and they were going to go for 25, but they've just had enough of the nonsense, they go, the heck with it. I'm not going to stay for 2 more years. I'm out now. And again, I don't blame them. It's just like, and this is one of the problems that we've always had in war. And I'm going to tell you exactly, like Vietnam. Vietnam should have been a slam dunk, okay? But there's not money in it for big business, for the industrial complex, if we win a war quickly. The longer we drag a war out, the more money it is for Boeing, for Halliburton, and all those big companies that their business is war. So if we can drag it out, they can get more money. So that is why when we are fighting those wars, we're fighting with one hand tied behind our back. We're not allowed to win. That's the problem. Afghanistan, that's a joke. It is an absolute joke that we have been over there since my kids were born. Okay? Ridiculous. And now we're going to give it back to them anyway. Right now, they're negotiating to give it back to the Taliban. But I thought the Taliban was so bad, and they're the big scary monster, and Al-Qaeda, and blah, 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 right? The manipulation is unbelievable. Think for yourselves. Look through the BS. See where we're being played. It's happening constantly. Constantly. Okay. What's going to happen? You defund the police, right? You get rid of the police because the police are so awful and are so bad. Somebody's going to replace them down the road here. They're going to come up with somebody. Okay. The Gestapo comes to mind. I mean, we're looking at history repeating itself. The agenda is now, okay, whoever, realistically, if Biden gets into office, the agenda is going to be to disarm. They want to disarm us. They don't want us to be able to defend ourselves. If they can disarm us, make us the bad guys, of course, preppers and off-gridders and, people that have free thinking and thinking for themselves. We can't have that. No. We don't want that. We want compliant sheep to continue to do what they're doing, to do what they're told, to follow the mantra no matter what. Okay? My sister and I went out for a ride today. All right? We stopped at a local restaurant. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I don't wear a mask. Won't wear a mask. My sister didn't have a mask on either. We walked into the restaurant. We sat down. Guess what? We still got waited on. Okay? It's just, I go into stores where it says right on the door, no mask, no service. Guess what? They still waited on me. They still take my money. They want my money. Okay? So, it's a game. We're in a game. Okay? And that's realistically what is happening. It's a compliance game. Do as you're told without question. Don't question anything. Just do as you're told. And, do I believe COVID is real? I absolutely do believe COVID is real. I believe it was a manufactured thing in a lab in Wuhan, China. I absolutely believe that 100%. It was released either on purpose or by accident, and it got spread all over the world. But here's my problem with that. Governments around the world saw what was happening, saw what was going on in China. Did they stop travel from China? Did they stop people from getting on airplanes and traveling out of China all over the world? No. Why? They wanted it to spread. There's an agenda. There's a bigger agenda at hand. It's about control, complete and utter control. And I talked about this a little bit before. You had all kinds of hotspots around the world where people were standing up. Look at Belarus right now. People are standing up. They're going, I've had it. I'm not doing it anymore. Okay? You have a lot of people, a lot of countries around the world where people are saying, I'm not doing the mask anymore. All right? Not going to live in fear. And that's what's happening. People are saying, I've had enough. Okay? Just before the whole virus thing came out, a lot of people around the world were sick and tired of their governments, including the United States, the manipulation by our government constantly. Okay? This whole thing that they're playing now, this card, forced vaccinations, think about that for a second, realistically. Well, you got to do it because it's the right thing to do. No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. This is still America, the last time I checked. Okay? You want to get the shot? Go line up with the rest of the sheep and get the shot. I'm not getting the shot. All right? I'm not getting a flu shot. I'm not getting a COVID shot. It's not happening. All right? You don't know what's in those shots. I don't trust Big Pharma. Never have. After I've seen what's happened with my own child, I don't trust them. Absolutely don't trust them. And the thing is, too, you got to remember, what people are not remembering is your natural antibodies in your body are there to fight infections. All right? If you are a compromised individual, my advice to you is keep a low profile. Don't go out. Don't go out and do all the different things that everybody else is doing. Okay? Because you're going to be more susceptible to getting sick. That's a fact. Okay? But if you're going to go out in public, make sure you have a mask that's actually going to work. Okay? That's probably a really good thing. Guys, we're at 934 people in the chat. We're at 298 on the thumbs up. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet to show support for the channel, I would ask you to do that, please. And thank you ahead of time for doing that. Also, it really does help with the algorithms. So the more interaction, so the more thumbs up we get, the better it is for the interaction with the algorithms. And again, thank you for that reason. Also, I like to see a lot of thumbs up. Not going to lie. I think it's cool. The higher number we get, it's more fun. So that's another reason why I ask for that interaction. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please to make sure you do subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And thank you for doing that as well. But we need to start thinking for ourselves, not being led around by the nose, not being told to do, and not being good little boys and girls and complying with everything that we are being told. It's ridiculous. Everything is not going to kill us. You think about it, like, okay, all right, good example, my green tea, right? Oh my God, do you know what's in green tea? This is that, and the other thing is bad. I'm going to tell you what, guys, here's the bottom line. There's a day marked in a calendar somewhere in the future that has my date on it. And when that day comes, I'm going to drop in the ground, and that's going to be the end of Prepper Nurse 1, okay? It's already written. It's coming. I'm just on that journey till I get there. Now, am I going to be reckless and stupid and do stupid things? Probably not, okay? But if I like green tea, and no matter what it's made out of, I'm going to drink green tea, okay? That's just the way it is. If I decide I want to have a beer, I'm going to have a beer, you know? So it's just, but I'm not going to have 10 beers, jump on my motorcycle, and go do 100 miles an hour. That's being stupid, okay? So, you know, take care of yourselves, obviously. Try to eat right. But we all have our little indulgences and our little vices that we have. Everybody does, okay? So, you know, I don't care who you are. I like sweets. That's like my weakness is sweets. Love my sweets. So, you know, but guess what? At the end of the day, I'm still going to die at some point. No matter how healthy. I'm going to tell you a quick story real quick, and then we'll go on with everything. I had an uncle. Love my uncle, who's awesome. He died at 72, okay? He never drank. He never smoked. He lived in California. He exercised all the time. He lived in San Diego. Exercised all the time. Stayed out of the sun. Okay, so I mean, he would even, you know, avoid getting out there and getting a tan and stuff like that. Well, in my family, we die of two things. We die of cancer and old age. Well, my uncle ended up getting cancer. Now, he lived probably a healthier lifestyle than most people watching this channel. I mean, he was in phenomenal shape. He was never overweight. You know, like I said, never drank, never smoked, none of that stuff, you know, didn't do anything, didn't do drugs. Very, very healthy lifestyle. But guess what? Cancer don't care. Okay? He got cancer. He died first out of, it was him and my mom's sister. Right now, my mom's sister is fighting stage 4 cancer. All right? Which pretty much is going to leave mom as the last one standing. You know, because probably she's not going to win this battle. She's battling. I'll give her that. She's battling. But she's probably not going to win that battle. And she was the youngest. My aunt was the youngest of the kids. My mom was the middle. My uncle was the oldest. And my mom is 77 now. She's pretty good. She's pretty spry. I'll give her that. She's doing all right. But again, when it's your time, it's your time. No matter how healthy you are, no matter how much you live in fear, you can't live in fear. You have to live your life. It's like I ride motorcycle, and people say to me, "Oh my God, that is so dangerous." Well, getting up in the morning is dangerous. You slip on the floor and break a hip, next thing you know, you're done, okay? Depending on what age you are. But, you know, when it's your time, it's your time. And I've always said this, and I said this to Heather. I said, if I die on my bike, don't ever shed a tear because of that. Know that I died doing what I love. I absolutely love to ride my motorcycle. It is a stress relief. It is the way I decompress.